Hey folks, Darren here, another 10-minute tier. And this time I'm going to do my favourite director, John Carpenter. We spoke a lot about John Carpenter over on TSL Movie Podcast, but other than talking a few bits of Halloween, I haven't really talked about him on this channel too much. So let's put that right. 10-minute tier. I've not got long to do this. 20 movies. I'm not including the kind of anthology things he did and the kind of shitty TV series that he remotely shot out in Eastern Europe at some point a couple of years ago. So this is just his kind of mainstream movies, a couple of TV movies in there as well, but mainly the kind of cinematic ones that he's done. 20 films. Let's move over to this screen right here and kick this off. So there we go. The 5 tiers are... starting at the bottom, You Gotta Be Fucking Kidding, obviously from The Thing. In the 4th tier, we have Hollow, Fuck It, from obviously Big Trouble in Little China. The 3rd level, we have I Have a Plan. It's called Save Ass. That's from Assault on Precinct 13. 2nd place, we have We're Honoring Murderers, which comes from The Fog. And in 1st place, You're A Number One, clearly from Escape from New York. So, first off on the list is They Live. So where am I putting They Live? Okay, Roddy Piper, Keith David. Second pairing, I think, with Keith David and John Carpenter at this point. I got to put this up near the top. I think it's a great film with a lot to say. Some terrific action. The moment where Roddy Piper gets hit over the back of the head with a whiskey bottle and thrown out the window. The street fight with Keith David that he has, which is just its own kind of WWE match in its own right, I guess. Some terrific stuff in this film and a lot of messages in there that are still very relevant today. So I'm going to put that up in the 2nd tier there. We're honoring murderers. Now, remember, folks, I'm going to be a little bit biased here, given that he's my favorite director, but he does have some stinkers, as we'll see. Assault on Precinct 13. 2nd tier again as well. One of my favorite Carpenter movies. Saw this when I was a wee lad, right after seeing Halloween for the first time, probably in about 1981, I guess. Got it on it was on the same label as Halloween, I think, Media at the time in the UK. Yeah, absolutely adore this. His kind of tribute to Howard Hawks' Rio Bravo. Also got shades of Night of the Living Dead in there. Great movie. Come watch this anytime. Big Trouble in Little China. It's going up to the 2nd tier again. The kind of, what would this have been now? The 4th pairing of John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. So you had Elvis, you had Escape from New York, you had The Thing, and then you had Big Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China, one of those movies that died at the box office along with a lot of Carpenter's movies. And yeah, I didn't get to see in the cinema simply because it was only around for a week. That was it. It was off screens. An absolute disaster at the box office. But over the years, it's great to see that it's just a massive cult classic. And it's a shame we didn't get a second adventure with Jack Burton. Christine. Okay, Christine. So I'm on the fence with Christine. I really do like it. It's not quite up there with his other movies for me, but I still really enjoy this film, and there are some great moments in there. For example, Keith Gordon, when he turns around and says, "Show me," and we get that huge Carpenter sting with the lights coming on the car. Some really great jump scares in this film, and I don't know, maybe I move it up to 2nd tier. I'm going to think about that as we get on. Dark Star. For me, Dark Star is one of Carpenter's worst movies. I really don't get it. I really don't enjoy it. 2 blokes chasing a bouncy ball around a spaceship for 2 hours. Not one of my favorites whatsoever. I'm going to put it in the bottom tier. You gotta be fucking kidding. Elvis. Elvis was fun. I enjoyed it. Kurt Russell's performance as Elvis. I think I've only seen this movie twice, but I do really enjoy it every time I watch it. I'm going to put it on the middle tier because I think it's not bad. I really do think he puts in a great performance. I know it's only a TV movie. I'd really like to have seen that kind of extra long cut that they talk about that's out there. But no, I do have a DVD of it somewhere, and I like it. So 3rd tier. Escape from LA. I remember going to a press screening of Escape from LA back in the mid-90s and was so excited to see this and was so disappointed when I came out. My thoughts on it have kind of gone up and down over the years. I do think it's a movie that has a lot of really cool moments. I think the whole build-up to Kurt Russell going into LA is really cool. It kind of mirrors what happened in Escape from New York. A little bit more advanced technologically. And I like looking at that. I also really appreciate the fact that Kurt Russell came back to do this. And it was just great seeing him. It was great getting that opening title music back on. A variation of it, the kind of Shirley Walker version, but it was still cool. But there are some laugh out loud moments in this film, and for the wrong reasons. But it also does have one of the coolest Carpenter endings when he shuts down the power to everything at the end with the Doomsday device. So it's not quite in the worst bracket, but I'm going to put it in hollow fuck it. Escape from New York. One of my favorite films of all time, definitely in my top 10 of all time. I think there are 3 Carpenter movies which are probably in my top 10, and I'm going to put this right up to the top. I love this character. I love this film. I love this world he created. Lee Van Cleef, Tom Atkins, Charles Cyphers, Isaac Hayes, Adrian Barbeau, Harry Dean Stanton. What a cast this film had. 90 minutes in and out. One of the greatest anti-heroes of all time, and a massive tribute to Clint Eastwood. Love this film. Can watch it at any point, any time. You said to me, do you want to watch it now? I'd be there with you. So Escape from New York's going in my top tier. Next, Halloween. Those of you that know me, you know it's going straight to the top there. I think one of the greatest movies of all time, not just one of the greatest horror movies of all time for me personally. I talked about this film so much, I don't need to talk any more about it. So let's continue. Ghosts of Mars. Probably one of his worst films of all time. Right in the bottom alongside Dark Star. I know some people like Dark Star and I will get some shit for this. It just doesn't connect with me at all. Ghost of Mars is the same. It's just a mess is Ghost of Mars. You know, a kind of another take on that kind of Rio Bravo thing, that assault on Precinct 13. It just doesn't work. It looks cheap. It's got a poor cast. And this was the kind of death rattle of John Carpenter's career. But that death rattle probably started with a movie called Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which I think is equally as bad as Ghosts of Mars and Dark Star. I think I laughed once in this film, which was the moment when Chevy Chase's dick vanished, and that was it. In the Mouth of Madness, middle tier. I like it a lot. Not as big as on it as some people are, but I do like it. It's kind of a bit of a departure for John Carpenter. I think there are a lot of times during watching this film where it doesn't really feel like a John Carpenter movie. And I compared it the other week to things like The Dark Half. It's okay. It's in the middle for me. I have a plan. It's called Save Ass. That's where In the Mouth of Madness lives. Prince of Darkness. I loved this when I was younger. I had the soundtrack album. I loved the fact that Alice Cooper was in it because I was a huge fan back then. And yeah, I've got such fond memories of it. Donald Pleasance as well, doing his stick. It's fun. It really is fun. Liquid Satan. Only Carpenter could pull that off. So this is going in the second tier up there for me. Someone's Watching Me. I didn't actually see until about 4 years ago. I managed to get hold of a DVD of it. It was okay. And, you know, the thing with Elvis was he made it feel a lot more cinematic than it was. It didn't feel too much like a TV movie. This very much does. This feels like an episode of Quincy or Diagnosis Murder or something like that. And to say that he made this after Halloween, I believe, it doesn't look or feel like a movie from such an auteur as John Carpenter. Or you wouldn't call him that back then, I would now. So yeah, so Someone's Watching Me. I don't think it's the worst thing he's done, but I'm going to put it there in hollow, fuck it, next to Escape from LA. Starman. Love Starman. Jeff Bridges, Karen Allen. A movie that I don't watch too often. Maybe I should watch it more. Love the score to this film. And I would say I would put it in the middle section here. The Fog. One of his greatest movies for me. As I've said so many times, I can wake up some mornings and actually prefer it over Halloween. So it's going all the way to the top. I think the atmosphere in this film is unbelievable. I think the score is fantastic. The direction, the characters in there, again, pulls all the stops out to get quality character actors like Hal Holbrook and Adrian Barbeau and Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis. And it's got a great cast. And yeah, The Fog is a movie that will always be one of my favorite movies. The Thing, got to put that at the top as well. You're a number one. You are, buddy. But not my favorite Carpenter film. I do love it, but I will tell you which order I'll put these 4 films in as we wrap up this episode. The Ward. I don't remember too much about this. I've seen it once. I remember it not being that great. I'm going to put it in hollow fuck it. I don't think it's his worst movie of all time, but I don't think it's his best either. So it's going in that fourth tier there. Vampires. I'm going to put in the 3rd tier. I actually like this. I think it's one of his last good movies. 1998, I think it was. Yeah, James Woods. One of the Baldwins was in there as well. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I think it's a lot of fun. And finally, Village of the Damned, which I'm going to put in this 4th tier here. If I'd done this in a few weeks' time, I may reevaluate Village of the Damned. I've just ordered the 4K, partly because it's got Sean Clarke's documentary about Peter Jason on there, which I'm really excited to see. But also the fact that I haven't watched it in a little while, and I really want to kind of remind myself as to whether it was that bad, and whether it is as bad as I remember. So some people think it's okay. Kirstie Alley, Christopher Reeve. But, you know, again, another title I don't believe got a cinema release in the UK. I think I saw it on VHS in the late 90s or something like that. But yeah, a lot of people kind of think this movie's okay. I'm going to reevaluate it soon, and perhaps I'll let you guys know what I think. But for now, I don't have too many good memories about it, so it's going in the hollow fuck it section. Okay, so let's just run through this now. In the 5th place, the tier that's called You Gotta Be Fucking Kidding, we have Dark Star, Ghosts of Mars, and Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Hollow fuck it, the 4th tier, has Escape from LA, Someone's Watching Me, The Ward, and Village of the Damned. I Have a Plan, it's called Save Us, has Christine, Elvis, In the Mouth of Madness, Starman, and Vampires. We're Honoring Murderers, it's the 2nd tier that has They Live, Assault on Precinct 13, Big Trouble in Little China, and Prince of Darkness. And then finally, your number 1, the 4 Carpenter films in the top there I have are Escape from New York, Halloween, The Fog, and The Thing. And if you were to ask me to rank them all right now, how I'm feeling today on Feb 25th, 2025, I'll put them in order for you. So right now, this is how I'm feeling. I'm a bit Halloweened out at the moment, so The Fog would be 1st, Halloween 2nd, The Thing 3rd, and Escape from New York in 4th place. So that's it. That's it, folks. That's my John Carpenter tier ranking there. Let me know how you would rank them down below. It's not easy doing it this fast. I didn't really think about it beforehand. I've just kind of done it off the top of my head. I enjoyed that. It was good to talk about those. I've gone over, I know. My clock's saying 16 minutes, but hopefully I'll edit this down to around about 15 minutes or something, 14 minutes maybe. I'll be back this weekend with another Video Nasties episode. Thank you so much for all the support on the ones I've done so far. It really does mean a lot to me. It does. If you haven't seen them, you can check out the links somewhere up there. 2 episodes in the bag already, and a 3rd one with a very special guest coming this Saturday. And I'll drop a thumbnail very soon and let you know who that is. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider it. And I shall speak to you very soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.